Rangers are making headlines for all the right and wrong reasons. Our next Champions League opponent is already out there greeting the tissues, whinging away, trying to change fixture dates. Conor Coady watches on as Wrexham circle. Mikey Moore from Spurs is nearly in the door, and Russell Martin's wild style is under fire despite progress in Europe. Jack Butland's been a wall, but questions linger, and JD Gassama, the boy is simply too good. Right, here we go then. Champions League fever is ramping up once again, and Rangers are 2 steps away from returning to the top table of European football. After that gritty draw in Athens against Panathinaikos, Russell Martin's side have booked their place in the 3rd qualifying round, and standing in the way next is Viktoria Plzen. Now get this, the tie kicks off at Ibrox on Tuesday the 5th of August with a 7:45 p.m. start under the lights. You can already hear the roar, can't you? Then it's off to the Dusan Arena in Plzen a week later, Tuesday the 12th, with an earlier 6 p.m. kickoff. But here's where it gets interesting. The Czechs are already moaning. Viktoria Plzen, who scraped past Servette despite losing the first leg at home, are up in arms over their schedule. Their manager, Miroslav Kubek, is raging about fixture congestion, travel chaos, and even denied his players a beer after the match. Aye, no pint, no party. Apparently, they don't even have time to unpack their bags, never mind prepare for Rangers. They're now begging the Czech League to postpone their weekend match, saying the players aren't getting the FIFA-recommended 72 hours rest. You'd think they were preparing to climb Ben Nevis barefoot, not play a football match. Meanwhile, one of their players is out here saying they gave everything against Servette and they're ready for Rangers. Well, we'll see just how ready they are when they walk out at Ibrox in front of a full house. No amount of sleep or fixture reshuffling prepares you for that. But here's what I want to ask you. If Viktoria Plzen are already complaining about their schedule and claiming fatigue before even kicking a ball in Glasgow, should UEFA be taking a harder stance against clubs that try to make excuses before the ties even begun, or is this just a classic case of a smaller side trying to gain sympathy before getting steamrolled by a proper football club? There's movement brewing behind the scenes again, and this one's got the potential to stir things right up. Conor Coady, the longtime Rangers target and seasoned England international, is still keeping one eye fixed on Ibrox, even as Hollywood-backed Wrexham try to whisk him down to Wales. Cody's been on Russell Martin's radar all summer. The idea was to bring him in for the Panathinaikos ties, but he's still stuck at Leicester, captain's armband and all, because they haven't found a replacement yet. Rangers put in an initial loan offer. Leicester said no, they want cold, hard cash to fund their rebuild after Premier League relegation. But with Coady entering the final year of his contract and the club desperate to slim down a bloated squad, it's now or never. And just when it seemed like we had the inside track, in come the Hollywood Cowboys, Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney, with their flashy Wrexham project. They've made it to the Championship and are dreaming of the Premier League by 2027. Fair play, it's ambitious, but let's be honest, there's ambition and then there's pulling on the jersey at Ibrox in front of 50,000, challenging for silverware and pushing into the Champions League. Now, here's the bit that makes you raise an eyebrow. After our draw in Athens, Jack Butland shared a post to salute the Rangers' support. Coady liked it. Maybe it's subtle, maybe it's a message, but it tells you where his heart might really be. This isn't just another championship move he's weighing up. He knows the significance of walking through the front doors at Ibrox. With Robin Proper gone and Clinton and Ciala looking on the fringes, we need a leader at the back. Giga and Fernandez are young and promising. Sutar and Davies are solid. But Coady brings a different pedigree entirely. He's been through Premier League battles. He's led in the toughest environments. And let's not forget, he hates losing. That's the sort of player who fits the Rangers mold. If Conor Coady chooses Wrexham over Rangers, is that a player we even want at Ibrox in the first place? Or would it be a total embarrassment if we let him slip away to a club who were playing non-league football just a couple years ago? Russell Martin might have marched Rangers into the next round of Champions League qualifiers with a solid result against Panathinaikos, but not everyone's singing from the same hymn sheet. We got the job done. 2-0 at Ibrox, 1-1 in Athens, and through to face Viktoria Plzen. But for some, the warning signs are already flashing like a red light outside a dodgy nightclub. Now, let's be clear, European progression is never to be sniffed at, but if it wasn't for Jack Butland turning into prime Andy Goram across both legs, things could have gone south very quickly. 9 saves, 8 from inside the box, 4 high claims. Butland was practically carrying the defense on his back. That alone tells you Martin's blueprint, this high-risk, all-possession, no-stability football, is leaving the back door swinging wide open. Bill Leckie's having none of it either. He's blasted Martin's setup as naive, players tripping over the ball, giving away cheap possession, and playing as if they've never met. He's not wrong to point out that against a proper team with a clinical striker, we might have been punished. Let's not forget, this style got Martin the sack at Southampton after just 12 miserable points in the Premier League. But here's the flip side. Martin's trying to instill a complex system early doors, and that takes time. It's like trying to get a fifer to admit someone else can make a better steak pie. It just doesn't happen overnight. Gassama's goal in Greece, for example, showed that there's already some belief and character growing in this squad, and Butland's resurgence, that's the sort of mentality Ibrox needs. Peter Lovenkrands came out and backed the big man, saying he knew Butland from Birmingham and always rated his character. He's got the big game temperament, and he's proven that on the European stage. Cantwell even popped up on social media with a one-word message, him. That tells you Butland's earned the respect of his peers, even those who've moved on. But here's the issue. You can't ask your goalkeeper to put in Champions League level shifts every week just to bail you out. That's not a title-winning formula, that's gambling. And if we're being brutally honest, the club still needs to secure a long-term number one between the sticks. Because as brilliant as Butland can be, the inconsistency's been there before. If Martin wants to build something lasting at Ibrox, he needs to sort that position for the future. If Russell Martin keeps risking it all with this style and Jack Butland has an off night when it really matters, is it Martin who pays the ultimate price first? Or will the board be too scared to admit they handed the keys to Ibrox to a manager who already crashed one bus in England? Now, this one's causing a fair bit of chat already, and rightly so. Mikey Moore, the 17-year-old gem from Tottenham, is on the brink of joining Rangers on a season-long loan. It's got the makings of a smart move, but there's a caveat: the size of Ben Nevis attached to it. The lad's clearly got talent, no debate there. Youngest ever to play for Spurs in the Premier League, and despite limited appearances, he's already caught the eye of clubs across England. Rangers, to their credit, have swooped in fast, moving to the front of the queue, while championship sides dithered. He's expected to sign a new long-term contract in London before heading north, which tells you how highly Spurs rate him. But here's where it gets tricky. Derek Ferguson's hit the nail on the head. It's a strange one, not because Moore isn't good enough, but because it shines a spotlight on something uncomfortable. Why are we not promoting our own young lads at Ibrox? It's a fair question when you're turning to a 17-year-old from down south. No matter how flashy his highlight reel is, it tells you that the pipeline from Arkenhowie to the first team might be more trickle than torrent right now. Moore's arrival is exciting, but it's also a message to the likes of Findlay Curtis and any other academy attacker hoping to break through. Not this season, son. That said, if Moore can adapt quickly to life in Glasgow, and that's no guarantee, just ask some of the more seasoned players who've wilted under the lights at Ibrox, then Rangers could be sitting on a real diamond. His versatility is a bonus, and With Russell Martin building a squad that's young, energetic, and attack-minded, there's a chance this move works out beautifully. The key will be managing him properly, not tossing him in and expecting magic every week, but letting him grow, feel the jersey, and understand what it means to wear it. But let's be honest, loan deals from English clubs can go either way. For every success, there's been a forgotten man warming the bench. This can't be another fleeting cameo. This has to matter. So let's get right to it. If Rangers are pinning their hopes on a teenage loanee from Spurs instead of developing their own, is that ambition? Or is it proof that something's broken in our youth system? If you haven't seen yesterday's video yet, you're missing out. Explosive news about Rangers that'll leave every fan stunned. Go check it out now.